Hi guys, good morning. So today we'll see the PD1 maintenance for the winter 2026. So we have the two modules. One is multiple choice questions and the second one is what the hands-on challenge. So first we'll see the first one, multiple choice. Just to go down in the bottom of the page, right? So you will see the question and answers. So what is the key benefit of using the pointers and pointers to content document and object IDs for the larger callouts? We'll go with the B. Right. So it avoids loading large payloads on the Apex heap, preventing the heap limit errors. Next, so what access modifiers are supported for abstract and override methods in API version 65.0 and later? That is a protected, public, and global. So when should you enable LWS trusted mode for the Lightning Web Components? So we'll go with the option B. Next, what advantage that the Lightning GraphQL so module offers the over Lightning UI graphic QL API. So it will support for the dynamic query construction. The next one is what is the use of LWC local actions in screen flow. Okay, so we'll go with option right. They enable the browser-based actions without consuming the server resources. That's it. Now check this challenge. So done. Right, the first part is completed. So let's go for the second one. So what we have to do? So first we need to create a playground. Just you can click on this three dots. Click on here new playground. PD1 winter. Click on here create. It will take some time. So done. So once the playground created, click on here launch button. Next. So first what we have to do, so we need to install this package. Just to copy this package code. Now you can come here. Here we have a install a package option is there. Click on that install a package. Now, so the package ID, just you can give the package ID, then click on here install. So you have to select install for admins only, then click on here install button. That's it, right? So it will be done. The next step. So once you install the package, what you have to do, so you need to create a record triggered flow. You need to create a record triggered flow on a account object, right? Done. Click on here done button. Next what we have to do, so we need to create a flow. So in the quick find box, in the left side, in the quick find box, just a type flows. Just a type flows. See here we have flows. Click on this flows. Now, top right, we have the new flow option is there now. Click on that new flow. Now, so under the frequently used, we have the record triggered flow option is there now. Select this record triggered flow. Next, on which object we are creating? That is on account object. Select the account object. Next, so when you want to execute this, when the record is created or updated, that is this option also available here. See. Right, so record triggered flow on account object, right, when a record is created or updated. So we don't have any conditions. Got it. So just we have to check actions and related records, and the toggle as the async asynchronous asynchronous path should be off now. Okay, so there is no conditions, right, so it should be in the off condition. That's it. Next. Next comes to the next step is what? So we need to add the element. Right. We need to add the element that is a update triggering record. Right. This is the label. Copy this. Now come here. Click on this add element. Update triggering record. Just select this. The label and API name. Next. So okay. So use the account record that triggers the flow. Right. So it's already selected. Next. Set the filter conditions. None. Always updated. Right. So no. That's it. Now click on here. Close button. Sorry. So we need to set the values. Now comes to the next one. Right. So account description, new resource. Now come here, set the field value. What's that? Account description. See, select the account description. You have to select the new resource. What was the resource? That is the text template. Come here. The name is what? The default description. Just copy this. Next, here what we have to do, you have to select the normal, the plain text. Select the normal plain text. Now come here, this is the text you have to copy paste. Now, copy paste the text, then click on here, done button. That's it. The next what we have to do, right? So just we have to verify whether we have the default description will be available in the value or not. The next one is what? So we need to save and activate this flow. Right? What was the flow label? This is a account update. Now come here. Just you can go here top right. We have save button. Click on that save button. Give me the label. Then click on here save. And then after, so you should activate this flow. Click on this activate. Done. So now my flow is under active condition. The next, what we have to do, right? So we have to click on the view test and create that, right? So now, so once you activated here, we have the view test option is there in the top right. Click on that view test. Click on this create. Now, so what was the label? The label is what? The test account update description. Done, right? Next, done. So run the test, right? When the record is created, it's already selected. Done. Next one is what? Right. Set initial triggering records. That is right under the name. You have to enter this one. Right. Now, so left side we have a set initial triggering record is then select this. Here just we can find out the account name. Here just to find out the account name field. See, this is the account name field. Just provide that name account with flow. That's it. Next one is what? Set the third option. Right. Just to have to click on this. Right. So what's that? The resources triggering account description. Right in the bottom we have the triggering account account description is not equals to false. That's it, right? Is null false. Then after you have to save this. Click on here save button in the bottom right. Done. Next what we have to do, so run and verify the test. Simple, just you have to go to the developer console, open the execute anonymous window. So whatever the command they given, just to copy paste that command, then you can execute. Clear? Now you can go to the execute anonymous window, means the developer console. Just you can go here top right. Here we have developer console is there now. Click on the developer console. Now, so under the debug, we have a execute anonymous window. Click on this debug, open the execute anonymous window, then just simply provide that command. Then after click on here, execute button. That's it. Now come here. So once you've done what we have to do, right? So under the UI in the quick find box, just we can go and find out application execution. What's that? Application execution. Right. So in the UI, right, in the home button, right, in the quick find box, enter application execution. Here we have a application test execution option is the click on that. See here, right. So it's already done. Right. We already tested this. Got it. So now come here, right? So if you want to see that test result, just click on here, right? View test history, right? Everything will be available, right? Apex and flow, done, right? So we done today itself. Got it. Next. Okay, so that's it, right? Then after what we have to do, we have to check the challenge. Click on here, check the challenge. Done. So we successfully completed platform developer certification maintenance. Thank you guys. Please subscribe to this channel for more Salesforce related videos. Thank you.